You from New Jersey?
But on that note, I guess I talked a little bit earlier on in the show about me and Rich trying to make it out to some New Jersey places, New Jersey landmarks, for the purposes of the Genius of New Jersey podcast. That was part of the whole concept of the podcast when we got it all going. And obviously, COVID and all that has put us on hold. But with the vaccinations coming, and especially like I said earlier, but with the better weather on the way, as well as the sun's coming out, the things are warming up. Couple weeks, it's daylight savings time. A little bit after that, officially the first of spring. So things are getting better in Jersey, both with COVID and just in general. And with that, me and Rich are planning on getting on the road and doing some podcasts from live on location from some Jersey landmarks. And I thought for a good first place to start here at the beginning of the spring would maybe some good New Jersey hikes, some outdoor, socially distant. The weather's going to be a little bit nicer. It's right in the that meaty part of like the 2 to 3 week curve where I feel fucking motivated to get up and do shit during this time of year, coming out of the winter, but before the Met season has started. So I've got a list of some potential candidates of some historic New Jersey hikes that we can take here in the spring. As we've talked about on the show, but George Washington, always like a major fixture here in the state of New Jersey, but a couple of historic George Washington Revolutionary War themed kind of things, as of course on Christmas Day in 1776, George Washington came to Jersey, crossing the Delaware to attack troops, ultimately winning the Battle of Trenton. And Washington's Crossing Park in Titusville has a whole, historical monument set up and some historical hikes recreating the routes and the various, treks that these soldiers took en route to the Battle of Trenton. As well, like another similar George Washington themed Revolutionary War hiking trails are at Morristown Historic Park, where there's that famous Jockey Hollow. But that's pretty much like the entire Continental Army encampment site was at the Morristown Historical Park during the coldest winter of the Revolutionary War. George Washington.
I thought Jockey Hollow was the Headless Horseman. Is that?
That's Sleepy Hollow. That's,
yeah.
We can go there too. We're gonna have to wait till the fall.
Yeah.
But as well, Monmouth has a battlefield site that has some historic hiking trails.
Right.
The longest one-day battle of the Revolutionary War was the Battle of Monmouth, which of course has the Molly Pitcher Cannon Monument.
Man, she got a rest stop now over there on the turnpike too. Molly Pitcher.
Okay, yes, she's like a historic Jersey, resident, taking over the cannonball from her husband after he died in the Revolutionary War, with some heroism there during the Battle of Monmouth. So that could be a cool. Those are all some cool kind of like historic Revolutionary War themed hikes. Another one, we kind of talked about some of the spooky ones around Halloween when we were first planning on doing it, going to the Pine Barrens and doing the Leeds Point Trail, trying to track down the Jersey Devil in Leeds Point. There's a trail in the Pine Barrens that'll get you to there. There's as well in the Pine Barrens the desert of Feltsville, which is like a community of abandoned 18th century buildings that are located in like the Watchung Reservation along the hiking trails.
Maybe I could get an apartment there.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm willing to live with the Jersey Devil if he's not filthy. If he cleans up after himself and pays his rent,
yeah,
I'm in.
If he pays his rent on time, I'm down.
And doesn't drink my beer, I'm in.
But as well in the Pines Barren, a place I've always wanted to go to in the Pines Barrens is Batstow Village, which is that kind of like historic 1700s kind of village that they have recreated with like iron and glass making stations and sawmills and like cottages and stuff. At that,
you're gonna get us killed. We're gonna go missing with these freaks that live in places like this.
I know. Stumble on a community of people still fucking living there. It's
right. It's the same people that were there from 200 years ago, though.
But,
we'll have to bring them some weed and calm them down.
I guess a couple of the more famous ones, but the Stairway to Heaven trail in Vernon is like a famous, New Jersey hiking trail.
Right.
As well as there's the ones around the falls, Passaic Falls. There is a national park close to the Patterson Falls in Passaic, but the
right.
Buttermilk Falls though as well has a hiking trail. But I think for us, where we want to make our road trip debut for our spring hike is at the High Point Trail Monument, especially as we were talking with recreational weed legal in Jersey. We're gonna go get high at High Point. At the highest, the monument of the highest elevation, over 1,800 feet, the highest elevation in Jersey, with an official monument. But more than that, it's been fertile smoking weed grounds for local Jersey residents for the better part of a couple hundred years. And me and Rich are going to take the No Genius from New Jersey podcast on the road and get high at High Point with our first spring hike. And after that, we hope to go to all sorts of cool Jersey landmarks and historic places, fun places, goofy places. If you know of any places that you want me and Rich to go to or would suggest me and Rich go to, let us know.
And be nice. And be nice with what you say.
Yeah, seriously. NoGeniusNJ@gmail is our email address. So definitely hit us up with some suggestions for that. And look for us to be heading to High Point.
Go back to Jersey, you moron!